So it starts by me coming out by the sign on a white sweater, being followed by Officer Karanopoulos in the black jacket. As I try to walk away, he's physically placing his hands on me, pulling me by my arm and sweater. Shortly after, here comes Officer Flores rushing into the scene. He looks at me for 1 second and instantly grabs me and puts me on a side choke. As this is happening, the bus is coming in and people are starting to pay attention to what's happening. I am screaming to the top of my lungs, over a cigarette? You're really doing this over a cigarette? And as this is happening, Officer Karanopoulos is trying to place me in handcuffs as the other officer is choking me out with all his might. Showing no concern or disregard for my safety or well-being, including any care for my personal belongings, eventually I end up sitting in the bench while I'm still getting choked out and then tossed to the ground with my forehead on the concrete first. By this point, there's a little crowd already looking at me as I am already in the ground, as I'm already handcuffed in the ground. There's Officer Karanopoulos putting my backpack in the bench, and shortly after, Officer Flores I ask him if I can stand up, and he tells me, "No, you stay down there." He comes up to me as I'm in the ground, feeling challenged by my strength. He tells me, "You think you're a tough guy? I'll wait for you after work." That was his quote, exactly. Well, it takes them a while after I'm down in the ground for them to actually pick me up and put me in the bench. After the assault took place, where I felt completely defenseless and at the mercy of these trolley cops, Officer Karanopoulos asked me for ID, and I tell him it's in my wallet. He reached to my back pocket, got my ID, and he told me, "Why didn't you stop?" I said, "I did stop. That's why you got me." When Karanopoulos was talking to me, he stated, "You know I was only going to write you a warning citation. You could have crumbled it up and throw it away." And I said, "Yeah, but that's not the case anymore, is it? Then why did you have to go through all that trouble just to get me down physically to the ground?" He said, "I'm a trolley officer. I'm an officer. You're not supposed to walk away from me." At that point, he radioed in Officer Joseph, the guy who assigns and writes the tickets. He wrote me the ticket, and then after a while I was let go. Both Officer Flores and Karanopoulos left the scene. Officer Flores left the scene way before anything. His name was never issued in any ticket or in any information I had. I had to find out and go through a lot of trouble to get the information from this cop. I hope things get resolved.